very okay. Enough of the theme music. Uh, you know me. I'm Mr. Carsons. I was your Period 3 English teacher. I wasn't sure if I was going to do this, but when you guys made the shirt for me and signed it, I decided. Oh, also the tie. Actually, I have a picture of me with all the stuff that you guys gave me. So this is the shirt that you all signed. This is the tie with all your names right here, and the little green thing here, and the cards from some of you. So a number of things that you gave me at the end of the year. I think this is the year that I've had more gifts from graduating students than any other year. So time to give you a little farewell. I guess what I heard from many of you was not just trying to get a good grade. A lot of you said you considered me one of your favorite teachers, and some of you even said I was your best English teacher or your best teacher ever. I wasn't sure if I deserved those descriptions. In fact, I think I disagree with them, but it was very nice of you to say that. This school year was a time of great joy and great sadness for me personally. I became a grandfather. My granddaughter was born just as the school year was starting in August of 2022. Then, about a month before the year ended, my dad passed away. I was very close to my dad and was deeply affected by his passing. But coming to work each day and seeing you guys kind of cheered me up. You are definitely one of the best and most likable of classes I've ever taught. I think you might be the class with the highest percentage of A's in all my years of teaching since 1991. Well, I should say for high school classes. I do have a couple college classes where everybody got an A, but and as far as high school, I think you're the highest percentage of A's. There are many negative things in today's world, but getting to know and work with you guys actually gave me hope for the future. I had some of you as my online students during the pandemic, before you were seniors. Then after we came back to live instruction, I was happily surprised to find that you were actually more respectful, more interested in your education, and more responsible about completing assignments than it seemed like students were before the pandemic shutdown. You guys actually restored my faith in the ability of young people to bounce back from the difficult times like the pandemic. I enjoyed getting to know you, having you laugh at my jokes and listen to my stories. I was really touched by the things you said at the end of the year in the final essay assignment and in person. I'm glad I was one of your favorite teachers. And so I have some advice to give you as you move on past your high school time. I won't say that I expect you to change the whole world, to win the lottery, or become the next Kobe Bryant. If you actually do any of those things, that would be amazing, that would be great. And don't forget to send some money back to your former teachers. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, the odds are that most likely you will not be changing the whole world, but what you can do is to change the part of it, however small or large, that is given to you to change. That means if you go to college, you try to be the best college student you can be, put in the time to learn what you study, get to know people who get things done, do things ethically, not just having ChatGPT or TP, whatever it's called, to do all your assignments, but actually try to do the assignments yourself. Prioritize your studies enough to do well, and take the time to water the roots as well. That means retain ties with your community that you came from, not be like some college students go away to college and they never speak to their family or visit their home neighborhood ever again. I think it's worth it, even if you're busy with your studies, to take times to remember your community of origin, remember your family, take time for good friends, and well, in my way of seeing things, for family, for friends, and for God. If you don't believe in God, make some time for whatever you believe in above yourself. And it better not be a screen. Okay. Also, I hope you continue to make some time to read a good book once in a while, not just for classes, not just because somebody makes you, but for your own enrichment and intellectual growth. And whether or not you go to college, my hope is that you find a profession that means something to you, that you work hard and work ethically with good character in whatever you choose to do, whether that's in a restaurant or a store or a fancy office or the halls of government, politics. Martin Luther King once said, if a man is called to be a street sweeper, he should sweep streets as Michelangelo painted, or Beethoven composed music, or Shakespeare wrote poetry. He should sweep streets so well that all say, here lived a great street sweeper who did his job well. And if the time comes that you are blessed with a spouse and children of your own, my hope for you is to be the kind of father or mother those children will decide that they would like to be like. The underlying message of the novel Frankenstein that I made you read is to love those whom you bring into this world, and how bad everything can be if we don't choose to love those we should love. But it's enough of my advice. That's enough of my advice for this milestone time of your life. Well, maybe not, maybe a little more. In the words of the great philosopher Doc Brown in Back to the Future, your future hasn't been written yet. Your future is whatever you make it, so make it a good one. You have been great students in my class. Now it is time to be great students of life. Decide to be noble, honorable, and decent and good-hearted people. And if my generation has not left you a wonderful world, do things differently. Swim against the stream of corruption and apathy, and make one small part of it a bit better. My hope is that you find happiness, even in the face of difficulty and suffering. I know you can, because the mind is its own place and can make a heaven of hell a hell of heaven. You know who wrote that, right? Yes, that's right, John Milton. You have done well during your time here at Poly. All the indications are that you will continue to do well. So don't fear the future, even against what may seem to be overwhelming odds. As Shakespeare's King Henry V said just before the Battle of Agincourt, as you may recall, his army was outnumbered like 4 or 5 to 1. His quote was, "All things are ready if our minds be so." Okay, in other words, with the right attitude, we're ready to take on anything. Okay, and one other quote from Alexandre Dumas, who wrote The Count of Monte Cristo. This comes from his novel, The Count of Monte Cristo. "The life is a storm, my young friend. You will bask in the sunlight one moment and be shattered on the rocks the next. What makes you a man or a woman is what you do when that storm comes. You must look into the storm and shout, 'Do your worst, for I will do mine.'" In other words, live without fear, live with confidence, stand up to bullies, and stand up for what is true and right. One more quote from Winston Churchill. He was the guy who stood up to Hitler when all of Europe either was neutral or surrendered during World War II. He said, "Never give in, never, never, in nothing great or small, large or petty, except to convictions of honor and good sense." Okay, in other words, you never give in to bullies or bad things, but you always follow convictions of honor and good sense. So go forward and achieve great things in your education and in your life. One of your favorite teachers expects no less of you. I guess that's me. Adios, queridos compadres y comadres. Que Dios les bendiga. That means goodbye, my dear friends. May God bless you in all you do. Adios.